Kuwait television on hand as the Rockman's Quattro of Hajri and Bond prepare to leave the starter's ramp. Second up is the Toyota Celica of Middle East champion Mohammed bin Salem and co-driver Ronan Morgan. Third starter and hoping to break the Hajri Salem dominance of the Middle East, Michel Salah and Otmar Langer in the second Quattro. Fourth up the ramp, Qatari Abbas Al-Masawi and George Surian in the Lotus Talbot, leaving the assassin heading off to the first of the day's 6 stages, where young, enthusiastic drivers practiced their downhill runs and the spectators waited for the competitors. Special stage number 1 is a fast sprint to this outcrop. Hajri Quattro sets a punishing pace, giving competitors a closer view of the action than they bargained for. The Quattro's excellent road holding and Hajri's experience showed from the start. Last year's Middle East Championship was dominated by the powerful Toyota Celica of Mohammed bin Salem, who, as always, is driving to the limit of both man and machine. But this year's main combatant, Hajri, had the power of the Audi to his advantage, and Salem would need to extract 101% from the Toyota to retain his crown. Michel Salah, who last won the Kuwait International Rally in 1984, is one of the seasoned Middle East drivers. Salah makes up for the lack of works team backup with aggressive and determined driving. A favorite with the Kuwaiti spectators, Michel Salah will hope that the Quattro will see him into contention for the championship. The first day's 6 stages were over both fast and bumpy ground. Musawi, who limped his Lotus Talbot through the final of last year's international, will be eager to improve his standing in the championship this year. The deceptively small car hides a high-performance engine. An early casualty of the rally, Mubarak Al-Hajri's Opel Manta, a disappointing rally for this young driver. Joining spectators on the side with Hajri, Ahmed Dhafiri retires his Opel shortly after this. A blown engine ends his contention in the Opel Ascona. The casualty list, growing with alarming speed, will have the Kuwait Championship team of Hilal and Rashid's names added as they retired their Toyota Corolla with electrical problems. Surviving, but only just, in the second special stage, Ali Al-Barami's Mitsubishi sounded very unhealthy. Taking up the challenge, leading Kuwaiti Mohammed Al-Husseini and Ibrahim Al-Musa are followed by Ahmed Al-Nasser and Beda Al-Zaidi, the unmistakable color of the Interoptics Nissan 240 of Miskolnig, moving up through the field, leaving no doubt as to their intentions. Michael Allen and Martin Phillips in the Volvo 240 leading the Group A cars. They are followed by the Zayani Range Rover. This, the first four-wheel drive, looked good right from the start, but was under pressure from Sawaidi, who started the rally as something of an unknown quantity, but was already showing a definite leading quality as he skillfully negotiated the back straight in stage 2. Not far behind, ex-national champion Faiz Shahab, a wealth of experience that will count for much. Local cheers for Al Aryan, always a contender, never to be discounted. Giving the suspension a thorough testing, Samir Al-Husseini in the familiar Datsun 160. Mumtaz Shah's Toyota Celica sounds to be in need of attention, but is still in the running. While the almost silent larder of Saeed Ali stays the course but will unfortunately not complete the rally. Entry points only for several of the local competitors is the only reward. The modified Suzuki of Ghazi and Saad Al-Dhafiri once again is forced to retire, destined to become one of the many casualties of this punishing rally. Not so for the Bahraini Khalifa Rashid, who will see the rally through in the aging Toyota Celica, so familiar to Kuwait's rally scene. Disappointment lies in store, though, for Ibrahim Muad, one of the promising young Kuwaiti drivers. Nouri Al-Hassawi and Ahmed Al-Shaheen in their new Nissan Silvia will survive the course, but this will be the last we see of Abdullah Shouay in the Mitsubishi Starion. The very distinctive sound and sight of Jamal and Adnan Marafi's specially prepared patrol takes all the punishment the course has to offer, a welcome return to rallying of this determined local driver. After a disastrous first stage in which he lost over a minute due to electrical problems, Hajri was battling to make up time. Having taken the best time on stage 2 and 3 and this special stage 4. Bin Sulayem, having seen his lead almost immediately taken back by the superior traction of Hajri's Quattro, would now be hampered by the hanging dust. Technical problems had dogged Salah and Lange's Quattro. To add to their problem, the gearbox will come loose in this stage, and they will lose valuable time. Abbas Al-Moussawi secure in 4th place at this stage of the rally. First Kuwaiti driver in, Mohammed Al-Husseini, holding on to a promising start in the Toyota Celica. Ahmed Nasser in the Group B Mitsubishi had slipped several places, but the rally still had a long way to go. Moving up to 6th place, Miss Kulnig in the Nissan was living up to the crowd's expectations and was showing good technique. End of special stage 6 and the first leg of the rally. Hajri and Bond, having fought back, are now lying only 18 seconds behind their principal rival Mohammed bin Sulayem. If not for the disastrous first stage, the Quattro would now have a commanding lead. Bin Sulayem and Morgan, although still leading the rally, the relentless pressure of Hajri clearly gives them no chance for error during the second leg of the rally. As predicted, Salah was still holding on to 3rd position, almost 8 minutes ahead of their nearest rival, and in fighting spirit, ready to capitalize on any mistake made by the leaders. 4th place still belonged to the resilient Moussawi, although the pressure was beginning to show from these demanding night stages. Husseini, drawing on all his experience, is lying in 6th place overall and is leading his class, followed by Al Nasser and Zaidi, the 3rd local team to finish the leg. Moving into 5th position, Miss Kulnig and Schwingenschlegel proved to be the leading local team, having a firm grasp on the national championship points, while the Al Zayani prepared Range Rover negotiates the final night stage and into a top 10 place, guided by Falah and Askanani. The Group A Volvo of Allen has slipped down the field, while an excellent drive by Suwaidi would give him a starting position of number 7 on the following leg. Having an excellent rally, Faiz Shahab had moved up to 9th position in the Mitsubishi Lancer. Stone-throwing children hampered the Al Allianz efforts, but they were in a good position for championship points, Khulud fast becoming a competent co-driver. Just behind the Al Allianz, Samir Al-Husseini had something to say about his placing.
محمد بن سليم استطاع أن يفوز ببطولة الشرق الأوسط لسنتين متتاليتين. هل تعتبره حظ ولا حرفنة؟
طبعا أنا بالنسبة حق السنة الأولى أنا ما سويت بطولة الشرق الأوسط، وعشان كذي خسرت البطولة. بالنسبة للعام الماضي طبعا الأخ محمد كان جيد جدا، والحظ كان معه طبعا، وهو فاز في البطولة ويستاهل.
محمد بصراحة هذه راح تكون هذا الموسم هاتريك أو فوز ل3 مرات متتالية في بطولة الشرق الأوسط.
إن شاء الله أنا أحاول لبطولة الشرق الأوسط، مو بالرالي واحد يعني. رالي الكويت حتى لو أخسر قلت لكم أحب أفوز به، لكن ما يعني شيء لأن الرالي الثاني في بطولة الشرق الأوسط، فأنا أحاول أفوز بالبطولة ككل، وما تقدر تفوز بالبطولة فوزك في الراليات مستحيل.
عموما إضاءة الكاميرا بين أن شعرك أبيض وايد
من الخوف.
هل
لا
هل السواقة لها تأثير؟
يمكن، بس يعني وأنا صغير أول كنت أعد الشعر الأبيض أحسب الشعر الأسود اللي باوي.
سعيد بصراحة بطولة الشرق الأوسط هذا العام هل راح تفلت من إيدك؟
والله تأكد أنا موجود على أساس أفوز في البطولة، إذا فزت زين، وإذا ما فزت ما في مشكلة.
ميشيل صالح اسم معروف في بطولة الكويت المحلية وفي راليات الشرق الأوسط أيضا، لازم سوء الحظ كثيرا. ما أدري بلمي ايش رايك في موسم السنة؟ إن شاء الله يكون موسم خير يعني.
ان شاء الله، بس مثل ما شفت اليوم شوف نفس المشاكل اللي حكت سوء الحظ، بس الحمد لله ماشيين وما في اي مشاكل رئيسيه، كلها تصلحت. كل اللي بتمناه انه مثل ما انت قلت بطولة الشرق الاوسط اهم شيء عندنا.
نعم.
مش بعيد كثير عن محمد سعيد، حوالي دقيقتين.
نعم.
بس عندي فرصه كثير منيحه انه سعيد ومحمد كثير قراب لبعضهم، وهذا بيعطيني شانس كثير انه يصير شيء قدام. انا علي ما يعني ما عندي المساعدات اللي عندهم اياها.
يعني أنت متحفز للصراع اللي قاعد يدور بين الاثنين.
طبعا هذا بيساعدني انه في انت هالشيء، بتمنى انه نوصل كلنا سلمين ونتيجه حلوه، بس كمسابقه كرياضه كمان مبينه انه كثير اني عم يدعسوا مع بعضهم، انه الوقت اللي بيناتهم 18 ثانيه، فحيكون في ضغط متصور، فالمفروض انه مني انا اكون وراهم.
عباس الموسوي اسم تألق كثيرا في بطولة الشرق الأوسط في راليات الكويت. ما أدري ايش رايك في بطولة هذا العام؟
والله قصدك رالي الكويت يعني؟
نعم.
رالي الكويت ممتاز، لأن أرضه تساعد أن الواحد يعني يبذل مجهود ويوري يعني حرفته. بس يعني نتمنى دائما انه يكون رالي الكويت بهالمستوى هذا اللي كان فيه السنة.
تحملت مسؤولية كبيرة، أنت تحمل رقم 1 في بطولة هذا العام في رالي الكويت الدولي، وفي بطولة الشرق الأوسط أيضا. أصبحت نظرة الاتحاد الدولي نظرة غريبة، ما أدري إيش رأيك؟
والله رأيي واضح، أنا لو كنت صحيح ببتدي برقم 1 والخبر كان أكيد طبعا من صالحي أنا، وأنا أشوف إنه كان المفروض يكون هيك، بس التغيير خلاص رجع كل شيء زي ما كان.
Big red, old blue, outlaw, midnight. Today you need a horse with heart and fire in his eye. His name is Dynamite. Come to Marlboro country.
السيارات ذات الأداء العالي تحتاج إلى إطار له كفاءة عالية، لذا فإن تقنية بريجستون المتقدمة تستجيب لمتطلبات هذا العصر، فأنتجت لكم إطارها الجديد بوتنزا سوبر راديال، ملامسة متماسكة تحت
was costing him dearly. Stage 7 and Bin Sulayem hoped the fast desert stretches would be to his advantage. The Toyota's legendary high-speed performance would be put to the test as the Quattro had been consistently taking the lion's share of the first day's special stage times. Although Bin Sulayem's pace was very fast, Hajri took up the challenge and showed right from the start that the Quattro's superior traction could herald the end to the Toyota's dominance of the Middle East Championship. Clean driving technique and the power of the Quattro saw Hajri take 41 seconds from the Toyota in the first special stage of the day, and a further 21 seconds in this, the 8th stage of the rally. Michel Sala, off to a good start, would also clip 2 seconds from Mohammed bin Sulayem on the first stage of the day, but disaster at the beginning of stage 8. Sala soldiers on in the Quattro, whose problems are plain to hear, soon to retire with a faulty engine. Moussawi's patience pays off, and the Lotus Talbot jumps into 3rd position as Sala retires. But there's not only the Kuwait Rally, there's the Middle East Championship, and if Moussawi can hold his position here, he will move into 3rd place. But there are still 7 stages to go. Moving ever up the field, the International Optics Nissan of Miskolnik is doing well, but there is pressure coming from the cars of Hosseini and Suwaidi, who are just behind the Nissan. The local hopefuls have already fallen by the wayside by this, the 8th special stage. Somehow, the Mazda 323 of Pierre and Mark Horn manages to battle on, though the resale price of this car was dropping by the minute. Bahraini Khalifa Rashid had no chance to adjust the suspension on the Toyota he acquired shortly before the race. Mumtaz Shah, in the newer Toyota Celica, was having difficulty adjusting to the car and had slipped down the field, being chased incredibly by the Group N Suzuki of Khalid Al-Shumari and Prince Valsan. This second leg of the rally was comparatively faster than the first. With the exception of a quarry in the later stage, the course was over flat sandy plains, giving traditionally paced desert life a new dimension. Special Stage 11. Good vantage points for spectators at the quarry. Not so good news for the drivers who must pass through this part of the course 3 times. The Toyota of Mohammed bin Sulayem takes it for the second time, completing this stage in 5 minutes, 36 seconds. One of the few special stages where he will beat Al-Hajri's Quattro, which is steadily closing the gap. Disaster had struck Moussawi's Lotus Tolbert in Special Stage 10, and the challenge was taken up by Miss Kulnik and Schwingenschrodel in the locally sponsored Nissan. A splendid drive by Hosseini kept him in touch with the leaders, but Sultan Suwaidi begins to look increasingly dangerous as he senses that a high-honored position might be his. As contestants fell to the wayside, the robust Range Rover prepared at Al-Zayani garage was taking Eid Falah ever higher up the field. A determined drive in the Mitsubishi kept Faiz Shahab very much in the rally and just ahead of Ahmed Nasser's Group B Lancer. Al-Alyan in the Daihatsu shows that it's not the size of your car that counts, an argument that doesn't cut much with Marafi's thundering Nissan. Prone to driving over anything in its way, the distinctive engine can be heard throughout the quarry as Marafi closed the gap. An excellent drive by Ahmed Al Musa will earn him a well-deserved place at the end of the rally. A good show also by the 1988 model Nissan Silvia of Nouri Hassawi and Ahmed Al Shaheen, determined to complete the course. Despite a suspension system that had kangarooed the Toyota of Khalifa Rashid through the entire rally, his efforts would be rewarded at the end. Pierre and Mark Horn, having rolled the Mazda earlier and now without a windscreen, will retire after this stage. But the standard Suzuki of Chamari and Valsen will survive the course and will be the first Group N car to complete the rally. Muntar Shah, though, will become just another name added to the growing list of retirees.
خبراء شركة روثمان يجوبون أقاصي الأرض لانتقاء أفخر أنواع التبغ التي يمكن شراؤها بالمال لصنع سجاير اشتهرت بجودتها الفائقة. تبغ روثمان مكتمل النضوج إلى مستوى من الكمال لم تحققه إلا روثمان، بتوليفة تؤمن نكهة سلسة مشبعة. تبغ روثمان يبتدئ سجائر يكفل تدخينها منتهى الرضا والارتياح. روثمان كينج سايز، أجود ما يمكن شراؤه من تبغ.
إنها لكل منا، إنها شيفروليه، تشكيلة واسعة من الأحجام والمواصفات. المحبوبة كابريس كل ما ترمز له شيفروليه: الفخامة، الجودة، المتانة. سيلبرتي الرياضية وسيارة العائلة، جودة الأداء وجمال التصميم. ومن الأحجام الأصغر سبكتروم وسبرنت، مثال المتانة والإتقان. وأيضا من شيفروليه سيارات النقل الخفيفة، ومنها 180 كي، بليزر، سوبربن وفانجي 30. دائما العراقة في شيفروليه. الآن شاهدها بنفسك لدى معارض الغانم في الشرق، الشويخ، الري والفحيل. تلمس الفارق مع جنرال موتورز.
Saeed Al-Hajri, associated until recently with the Rothmans Porsche 911, was clearly demonstrating in the Audi Quattro that the Middle East Championship was back in his grasp after his recent disaster in the Qatar Rally. The four-wheel drive traction, coupled with his professional determination, had seen him chalk up the fastest timings, stage after stage. Lying in second place, the Malva Toyota Celica of Mohammed bin Salem, for so long the dominant force in Middle East rallying, reacting to Hajjari's pressure, was taking up the challenge. The well-prepared team of Miskolnik and Schwingenschurgel had consistently moved up the field and were now battling for third-place position. Highest-placed locally based entrants, this team were well-placed to take the lead in the national championship. Battling Miskolnik for third position was Sultan Saweidi, who had put in a professional and well-paced performance in the Toyota Celica. The challenge of leading Kuwaiti driver Husseini, performing with customary flair, ended during the second leg as he rolled the Toyota out of the rally. An excellent performance too by Falah and Askanani had demonstrated the full potential of the Zayani Range Rover, beating many specially prepared rally cars. With only 2 stages left of the rally, spectators waited for the competitors. Some ensured themselves a comfortable grandstand view wherever they were, while others preferred to watch from a safer vantage point. All of this was an added headache for the officials, who on some parts of the course were inundated with spectators. Sensing the lead slipping away from him, bin Salem gave the crowds what they wanted: aggressive, spectacular driving. Hajjari, knowing the potential of his rival, was not letting up the pressure. The battle for third place was becoming as fierce as that between the 2 leading cars. Miskolnik in the Nissan 240 RS was not having everything his own way. The Qatari Saweidi had his foot to the floor, his intention clearly to take third place honours. Once again, Faiz Shahab, proving the skills that helped him take the national championship in 1980, had not deserted him. On the final special stage, Mohammed bin Salem and Ronan Morgan. Try as he might, bin Salem overall had put in slower stage times during the rally, but a dramatic event was in store. Hajjari, confident that his challenge had been successful, takes the Quattro through, the last stage 16 seconds slower than bin Salem. Unknown to him at this time, a protest on a technicality would be lodged against him. The penalty, a full 2 minutes, enough to dislodge him from what appeared to be his assured #1 place. Miskolnik and Schwingenschurgel, the Nissan 240, having performed flawlessly during the rally, would suffer differential problems in this, the final round. Their second rally in the Nissan, this team presented a new and powerful challenge for the national championship crown. Sultan Saweidi and David Oryx, having driven consistently throughout, their efforts in the Toyota would be rewarded and give Saweidi a lift into the Middle East Championship race. Driving with no high-ratio gears, Falah would steer the Zayani Range Rover to an incredible 10th place. 5th place overall, a tremendous result for Faiz on only this, his second competition for many years. Ahmed Nasser with Beda Al-Zaidi, Kuwait's highest-placed competitor in last year's international. Nasser takes 6th place, while Al-Alian steers the Daihatsu Charade through to clinch 7th place and valuable championship points. Ahmed Al-Musa and Adnan Al-Awad, relative newcomers, clinch 11th place. 8th place taken by the big orange Nissan of Jamal and Adnan Marathi. Outside the SAS Hotel, the Toyota of bin Salem waits for the official clock-in time. Saad Al-Hajjari prepares to enter, and it will only be after the drivers officially complete the rally, news of the protest and penalty time will be known, provisionally relegating Hajjari and Bond to a disappointing 2nd place, but still subject to final decision by FISA. This lifted Mohammed bin Salem and Ronan Morgan provisionally to 1st place overall. For many spectators, it was the relatively new face of Sultan Saweidi and his co-driver David Oryx, who had clinched 3rd place, while Miskolnik and Schwingenschurgel took 4th position and moved into the lead in the Kuwait National Championship 1988.